So I'm just going to do a quick introduction. My name's Toby Laidlaw. I'm one of the partners from Moore Markham's Auckland, and one of our industry specialisations we have is in that legal sector, acting for and advising legal firms of various sizes. And it's as part of that we have a connection with Jenn and Insource. So Jenn's had a 12-year career in the legal recruitment sector, and it's from that experience that she's created Insource, which is an AI-driven recruitment tool. And I think the main objective there is to help legal firms, their HR teams and their hiring partners have better ability to bring that recruitment process in-house and obviously open the pool up to a wider number of candidates. So if you do have any questions during the presentation, please add them into the chat section, and there will be an email link to the recorded presentation that will be circulated later on. But for now, I'll pass it over to Jenn and she can provide you guys with the presentation. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Toby, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining today's session. Let me start with a simple question. What if your firm could hire the best lawyers faster, smarter, and more strategically while saving time and money? That's exactly what today's presentation is about. So prior to Insource, as Toby said, I spent 12 years headhunting lawyers, and I saw firsthand how reliant firms were because they had no tools, no visibility, and no direct sourcing capability. So they were really stuck paying high agency fees with no alternative. So I built the solution. Since launching Insource in 2021, over 90 law firms have subscribed to Insource, and in the past 12 months, we've saved firms over $2 million in their recruitment spend. And today I'm going to share with you how recruitment technology powered by AI significantly reduces the time and cost to hire the best lawyers. So I want to share this quote from Henry Ford. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Well, that used to be true, but today, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll likely get less. We're living through a time of rapid transformation. Just as AI is transforming how we deliver legal services, it's also transforming how we attract, assess, and hire the right legal talent. So it baffles me that law firms are still recruiting in 2010, relying on job ads and recruiters. Hiring the traditional way is inefficient, expensive, slow, with often poor results. If firms keep using the same old methods, they won't even get what they've always got. To keep pace, firms must shift their mindset and lead with curiosity, not comfort. So I want to challenge you to think differently today, to see recruitment not as a task to delegate, but as a strategic leadership function. For too long, recruitment has been treated as transactional, handed off to HR with a simple email, "We need to hire someone." Hiring partners re-enter the process only at shortlist stage, often leading to strategic and cultural disconnects. Recruitment is no longer a back office task. It's a leadership responsibility. Leadership-led recruitment means reviewing processes to spot inefficiencies where your team are spending time they don't have to, streamlining smart tools and partnering with HR to explore talent continuously, not just reactively. Think alumni, standout lawyers that you've seen on the other side of deals or appearing in the courtrooms, presenting at conferences, and your team's networks. This proactive and continuous exploration of talent, well before a vacancy arises, enables precise, fast shortlisting. And because you understand how you arrived at the shortlist, you can have confidence in every hire. The result is faster access to the right people, broader reach into passive talent pools, greater ownership of the process, better cultural alignment, and quality hires. I've seen this work time and time again. Firms using Insource are hiring faster, smarter, and more strategically. They are uncovering candidates who weren't actively looking, but are open to the right opportunity. These firms are transforming recruitment. They're investing in tech that gives their HR teams time back and leaders full transparency and control of the recruitment process. These firms are not just filling roles, they're building stronger, future-ready teams. Today, we'll look at the current challenges and trends in legal recruitment, how firms are using tech to win the war for talent, and how AI-powered legal tools can save your firm time and money recruiting the best lawyers. You'll hear real case studies from firms using Insource, and we'll highlight the key outcomes that they've achieved by transforming their recruitment approach. We'll wrap up with a Q&A session, so please feel free to jot down those questions or drop them into the chat as we go. In essence, our session today is focused on giving you the tools to meet the most important challenge in your firms right now, hiring the best lawyers faster. These are the conversations that I have every day with law firm practice managers, HR teams, and hiring partners when I speak to them about their recruitment approach. Many firms still recruit reactively, meaning they are dependent on recruiters and advertising to attract talent to their firms. Recruiting reactively today is a real challenge. The talent shortage, long time to hire cycles, rising recruitment costs, and a lack of resource and tools are creating the perfect storm when hiring, with firms constantly telling me that recruitment is one of their biggest challenges and costs. Over the next few slides, we'll unpack the three biggest recruitment challenges facing firms today. These are talent shortages, long hiring cycles, and rising recruitment costs. Each one is creating pressure, and together they are reshaping how firms must approach hiring. Surveys are confirming that talent is tight. Top performers are not on the market. According to Action Steps 2025 survey, recruitment and retention is one of the three top challenges for mid-sized firms in New Zealand and Australia. The best legal talent rarely advertises their availability. They're not on Seek, they're not flagging that they're open to work on LinkedIn, and they're not browsing job boards. They move only when the opportunity aligns with their personal and professional goals, and their current firms do what they can to retain them. Australia's legal market is also adding pressure, actively recruiting from New Zealand and offering salary increases of up to 30%. Insource shows that over 70 New Zealand lawyers have already made the move across the Tasman in the last 12 months. In response, some firms are promoting their top performers early. Insource shows lawyers with less than 5 years PQE are being promoted to senior associate. This creates senior-heavy teams and raises questions around fees and client expectations. With AI now handling many routine legal tasks, clients are already scrutinising costs and value more closely. I know myself that I don't mind paying for senior legal expertise so long as I know that that's what I'm getting. The message is clear. Attracting and retaining top legal talent is more competitive than ever. Hiring is slow, inefficient, and frustrating. Recruiters are now making 20 to 80 cold approaches for every role, which takes a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks, but sometimes many months to place. And when the wrong fit is hired, firms are backfilling within a year. Outsourcing recruitment means losing visibility and control of your recruitment process, with firms left waiting for CVs from a tiny pool of active candidates, while the best talent remains hidden. I know a firm that paid an engagement fee to a recruiter of $13,000 and lost many months without a single outcome, made worse because there was little to no transparency around how many candidates had been contacted, who these candidates were, or feedback about why they weren't interested. According to IDC, 83% of legal professionals are slowed down by inefficient processes, and only 30% have the technology to fix it. Recruitment is one of the most impacted areas. HR teams are under real pressure, losing hours every week to repetitive admin that can now be automated, such as writing job ads, talent market mapping, briefing multiple recruiters, and fielding unsolicited CVs that aren't always the right fit. Some HR teams report that they have interactions with as many as 20 recruiters a week. The outcome is a lot of wasted time, missed opportunities, and an unnecessarily long process that's no longer fit for purpose and is causing rising turnover in HR teams. Recruitment is one of the highest costs for law firms. To compete for the shrinking pool of active candidates, firms are offering 10 to 20% increases on starting salaries. If every hire comes with a 20% increase to outcompete the competitors for the talent, how will firms maintain their pay bands and create internal parity issues, especially when salaries exceed market and experience levels? Another major area of unnecessary spend is outsourced recruitment. Firms are paying up to 25% of a lawyer's starting salary in agency fees. Sometimes that's as much as $65,000 for a single lawyer hire. That's the cost of a new Mini Cooper, and at standard billing rates, it takes over 100 hours just to break even. Many firms have internal HR teams that are still outsourcing hiring, not by choice, but because they lack the tools and capacity to source talent directly. HR teams are lean. In small to mid-sized firms, it's often just one person juggling legal and non-legal hiring. Sometimes it's the practice manager wearing the HR hat. And here's the issue. HR is really incentivized or equipped to directly source talent. So outsourcing becomes the default, which adds costs, reduces control and transparency, and misses the opportunity to build internal capability. But with the right tech, that changes. Instead of spending time drafting job ads and briefing recruiters, HR can invest their time in a talent database to identify candidates directly, leveraging existing networks, surfacing warm connections, and retaining full control of the process in-house. This shift doesn't just save money, it frees up HR to invest time where it matters, building internal sourcing capability, strengthening relationships across the firm, even hiring an internal resourcer, rather than paying external fees. It's not just about having more time, it's about what HR can do with that time when empowered by the right tools. Firms are spending big to hire on demand, and there's not enough talent, let alone quality talent, to go around. High costs, low visibility, and reactive hiring are not sustainable. Manual processes that could be automated are costing your firms time, and time is money. Leaders need to be in the wheelhouse to help HR and people and culture teams adopt more efficient and far less costly recruitment practices. Let's take a look now at what leading firms are doing differently and the key trends that are shaping legal recruitment. At Insource, we've seen 90 law firms bring their recruitment in-house, streamline recruitment processes with tech, and invest in good data to drive better hiring outcomes. The biggest trend we're seeing is a shift from reactive to proactive, always-on recruitment strategies. These firms are investing in talent databases and upskilling and rewarding their workforce to source talent directly and build relationships with their future candidates long before roles even open. Talent databases like Insource are enabling this shift, giving firms visibility of the complete talent pool and insights that inform firms' sourcing, retention, succession, and growth strategies. 87% of firms now say talent investment is central to their recruitment strategy. Deloitte reports that streamlined processes and proactive candidate engagement are helping firms secure top talent ahead of their competitors. As competition intensifies, firms must evolve or risk falling behind. So let's explore 3 ways that tech is helping firms win the war for the best lawyers. The first of these is how tech unlocks hidden candidates beyond the active job market. Tech is transforming legal recruitment just like Steve Jobs transformed music. Steve wanted 1,000 songs in his pocket, so he created the iPod. Today, a talent database like Insource puts the legal talent market in your pocket and unlocks hidden talent beyond the active job market. Instead of waiting weeks for ad responses or to receive CVs from recruiters, firms with a talent database can instantly see their whole talent market, not just the small pool of active job seekers. And this gives you instant visibility into how wide or narrow the real pool of movable talent is. Many HR teams and hiring partners are working off assumptions that don't reflect reality. Just last week, I spoke to an HR manager at a respected Auckland CBD firm. They were recruiting a trust and estates lawyer with 5 to 7 years PQE. When we ran the numbers through Insource, we started with over 600 lawyers in Auckland with some relevant trust and estate experience. But after applying a few filters like primary practice area and time and current role, we narrowed it down to just 38 lawyers who truly matched the brief. That's the real size of the relevant movable talent pool of lawyers with 5 to 7 years trust and experience in Auckland today. Even more interestingly, Insource showed that 5 of those 38 lawyers had previously worked with people currently at that firm. With access to this data, that firm could immediately leverage internal connections to reach out to lawyers recruiters and job ads would likely miss. I firmly believe it's always better to hire someone that you know something about than someone you know nothing about. With tech, you can quickly map the market, remove the guesswork, set realistic expectations, and be proactive, not reactive, in your hiring approach. In today's legal market, losing a high-performing lawyer costs far more than recruitment fees. It disrupts client relationships, team dynamics, and firm culture. So how do firms retain top talent? It starts with how and who you hire. The firms that retain their best people are intentional, and they don't compromise on cultural fit. They hire individuals who align with their values, complement their culture, and integrate seamlessly into their teams. This isn't about lowering the bar or hiring reactively from a limited talent pool. It's about raising the bar, using technology to identify lawyers who resemble your most valued people. A talent database doesn't just show you who's available, it shows you who's right. Technical skills can be taught, cultural alignment can't. Our customers are building pipelines of culturally aligned talent who are often known to their workforce and ready to move when the time is right. They're identifying lawyers at firms with similar expertise and reputation, firms known for quality hires and strong training. One of our customers recently hired a senior associate and found them on Insource, someone who had worked alongside 2 of their partners. The cultural fit was instant, the transition was seamless, and the impact was felt from day one. This wasn't luck, it was data-driven. The platform surfaced the connection and the firm made a confident, informed hire. Insource helps firms build a proactive, data-informed talent strategy aligned with their DNA. Lawyers who fit into your culture stay longer, they onboard faster, and they perform better. Familiarity and alignment reduce risk and strengthen retention. Retention isn't solved by perks or policies. It's solved by hiring people who belong, who share your values and see your firm as a place to grow and contribute. Thirdly, access to real-time data powered by tech helps firms make faster and smarter hiring decisions. Data is challenging assumptions. One firm I spoke to thought they had strong tenure, but the Insource data showed that more than half of their lawyers had been at the firm for less than 3 years. Another believed that most of their hires came from top-tier firms, but only 30% did, and most of those hires were hired as clerks. As the only platform of its kind in the ANZ market, firms constantly tell us Insource is their source of truth about the talent movement and the composition of lawyers and legal executives. They can view at a glance the distribution of their talent across their firm by PQE, location, practice area, and benchmark growth, churn, and tenure against their competitor firms. Access to real-time data drives better decisions faster. From spotting flight risks to identifying succession gaps, insights help shape hiring, retention, and growth strategies. When decision makers have trustworthy data, they gain the clarity to act with confidence. As you have already heard me say, traditional recruitment is slow, expensive, and reactive. Firms that hire reactively are stuck in salary wars, chasing candidates who may not be the right fit, or maybe they don't stay long. The best legal talent won't move just for money. So when firms offer large salary increases to attract candidates, the real question is, are they getting the right talent or just the most available? Tech changes the game. Platforms like Insource help firms automate repetitive tasks like drafting job ads and market mapping and deliver a targeted long list the same day there is a hiring need, bypassing slow ad responses and recruiter delays. One internal recruiter at a top-tier law firm recently shared that she simply couldn't do her job at 0.8 FTE without our tech. This is a true testament to how the right tools can empower performance, working smarter, even at reduced capacity. In talking to firms, we often hear that they have spent their recruitment budget. Bringing the recruitment process in-house means you can tell your dollars where to go rather than asking them where they went. And these savings can help all firms to afford the best quality lawyers. Smarter tools, better hires, lower costs, more time back. That's how you win the war for talent. We're going to hear now from a couple of our customers here at Insource about how they are using Insource to save time and money in their recruitment process.
I don't have a large talent team, so what's important for us is to ensure that we have all the best possible tools to be able to do our job properly in the easiest and most efficient way. An objective for our group is to always ensure depth in our shortlists, and in the last few years we have found that increasingly hard to do. By looking at Insource, this solution has enabled us to do that, and probably more importantly, reduced our time to hire by upwards of 25%, I would say. Insource has become a really vital part of our talent acquisition toolkit. It's the first port of call for any of our talent acquisition processes now. That could be jumping into a talent pool that we've been cultivating over an extended period of time, or it could be commencing a new search on quite a micro level. So, a few years ago, we were just looking at commercial lawyers and hoping that we could find one that had tax listed on a profile, whereas now we can really target a tax skill set within Insource to ensure that we have well-matched candidates in our shortlist that we are presenting to our hiring managers. The first is just oversight of the market. The partners have really appreciated understanding the depth or lack of depth for some of the skill areas across our practice areas. Being a data-driven firm, to be able to have that evidence has been really helpful to us. And then the second most obvious and perhaps more impactful is just that we're able to reduce time to hire. We have better candidates that are better suited for the role on the shortlist quicker. I recommend Insource to any legal talent acquisition team who is struggling to access suitable talent. For us, it has been an invaluable market mapping tool that allows us to better manage talent processes internally. It has saved us time and it has saved us money. You can't give a better endorsement than that. I don't have a large team.
Now we'll hear from Anthony Harper.
One of the challenges we faced before Insource was when we were looking to recruit people directly and really didn't have the information about what was happening in the market or the individuals. Whereas Insource has got lots of information, it's all up to date, and we can find out where a potential candidate has worked, what their specialty areas are, what their date of admission is. It enables us to sort of build pools and then work to recruit from those pools. The difference Insource has made to us has been significant. It's enabled us to bring talent in-house, and that's given access to all of the practicing lawyers. It's enabled us to find the right people for our recruitment and not have to use external agencies. I'd recommend Insource. It's very easy to use, both for live vacancies and also to build talent pools for future use.
Having the right talent is important because people are the heart of every law firm and they are your greatest competitive advantage. As leaders, it's your responsibility to ensure your firm runs effectively. The future of legal recruitment is proactive, strategic, and leader-led. That means investing in the right talent supported by the right tools and processes. If you get the foundations right, great people, strong systems, smart processes, everything else will follow. And we're here to help you succeed. To give you a quick overview of how Insource works, I want you to imagine that a lawyer or legal executive has just resigned in your firm and the hiring partner wants the vacancy filled fast. Using our database powered by AI, you can instantly see who in the market has the skills and experience to fill the role. Taking it a step further, you can then run that list against who within your firm knows them or has them in their network. This takes less than 10 minutes and already you have the power to find the best and most suitable candidate with a warm approach. Then, of course, you would discuss the candidates with the hiring partner and identify the shortlist together. At this point, you can tailor our scripts to your firm's employee value proposition and email or call the candidates using your firm's connections. Or you can utilise our team of experienced freelance recruitment partners to make the approach for you on an hourly rate basis without incurring any placement fees. In essence, the 5 steps shown on the slide here will save you a huge amount of time and, from what our clients tell us, a huge amount of money. Here are the outcomes that you'll achieve using AI-powered legal recruitment tech to hire the best lawyers. A data-driven firm has better visibility of who's out there, who's movable, and who fits your culture. Access to current information gives you control of your recruitment process so you can make better and more informed decisions faster. Firms that embrace AI-powered legal recruitment tech aren't just more efficient, they are more resilient and they stay ahead of the curve. The right tools elevate your practice managers and HR teams to strategic operators. They are not just screening and processing applications, they are building the future of your firm, and they are seen as more valuable than ever. When firms move away from reactive recruitment processes and are not scrambling to backfill roles, they can focus on fit, not just availability. This means better quality hires, stronger, more resilient teams, and much longer retention. By bringing your recruitment in-house, reducing the time to hire, and improving retention, firms lower their recruitment costs, which frees up HR budget and directly improves the bottom line. Thank you very much for being on this presentation this afternoon. I'm very happy to answer any questions if there are any. I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Thanks, Jen. That was really good. I think there's just one question we've got so far from Karen. It's, how do you gather the information on the talent? For example, the movements they have between firms, etc.
Yeah, so there are sort of 2 parts to that, but every month between our research team and our algorithms, we're able to see that movement. So we're constantly updating the information and bringing that information to our customers through the Insource platform.
That's great. I don't think there's any other questions at this stage that I can see in the Q&A, but if anyone else who's on the call, the webinar does have any other questions, please feel free to send them through. You will get a a survey email as well as a copy of the recorded session later on. But I think if there's no other questions, well, thank you all for your attendance, and also thank you so much, Jen, for your presentation.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thanks all. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.